Welcome to The Trend. I'm Rebecca Granet. Well, it is Disney's #1 series, and fans have absolutely fallen in love with the heartwarming stories of family, friendship, and finding yourself that Andi Mack portrays on the screen. There is a special 1-hour episode of Andi Mack coming to Disney Channel this Friday at 8 p.m. And so, of course, we are joined by some of the cast of that show to talk about the new episode. And I am joined by Lilan, Joshua, Sofia, and Peyton. So thank you all for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having us.
I'm so excited.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you all. And I'm going to start with you, Peyton. I saw on Instagram, because I did a little Instagram stalking, that you, she's like, that you have described the last year as one of the best years of your life being a part of this show. So tell me what it's meant to you to be a part of Andi Mack and when you sort of knew that this whole thing was catching fire.
Yeah, I mean, there are endless answers to that question. I feel like every single aspect of this entire journey has just been so incredible. You know, we've started this family here, and in Utah, when we're without our real families, our blood families, we're with our cast members and with our crew. And I think because of that, we've come so close and we've become this tight-knit unit. And I just feel like the show's popularity has just been the icing on the cake to this entire experience.
Oh, that's sweet. So that's the after effect of all the friendship that you've built together. Sophia, tell me a little bit about getting the part itself and maybe what that process was like for you and when you actually heard, okay, auditions are over, it's mine.
Yeah. Well, auditioning is always a little nervous, and meeting all of the cast and getting to audition with them really calmed my nerves because they were so confident and it made me confident. I was like, okay, we can do this. And so of course I auditioned like 5-ish times, okay. And all the times that I got to audition, I was so excited, but I was still nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen. And then eventually I got the call. I was screaming, I was crying, I was laughing.
Where were you when you got the call?
I was at my house,
okay.
And I was doing my hair, of all things. And so I had all this product and gel on my hands. And my dad was like, oh, guess what? Your agent's on the phone. I was like, okay. And so I took the phone somehow with like my gelish hands, and I heard her say, you booked the role of Buffy on Andi Mack. And I was like, what? And I started hugging everybody with my gel hands and getting it all over them and all the clothes. But it was the best day of my life, and I couldn't stop smiling for that whole entire year.
So not gel nails, just gel hands.
Just gel hands, you know. Right? It's a new trend, right?
Not to be confused with gel nails.
Right, a new
gel
trend.
hands.
I like
that.
That's great.
People walk around with
yeah, maybe not.
All over. The way you guys are starting trends, I bet that could actually happen. But Joshua, you know, this show has become so important to not only Disney Channel, but to all of the fans who are watching all the different storylines. And I do want to point out that among its honors, the show has recently received the Common Sense Media Seal for quality family programming. So I wanted to ask you what you've learned about the power of storytelling from being a part of this series, and mostly by the reaction that everybody has given, the audience has given to the show.
Yeah, I mean, Cyrus is Disney Channel's first openly gay character. And I think that was the biggest, seeing the fan reactions to that has been the biggest barometer towards the power of storytelling. So hearing these fan reactions, I was walking down the street one day and a kid came up to me and he went, "Are you Cyrus from Andi Mack?" And he took a picture and that was all fun. And then his mom came up and said, "Thank you for what you're doing. If some of my friends had a character like Cyrus when they were growing up, I think they would have been better off." And just hearing stuff like that and all the amazing social media comments that I've gotten, it's an amazing barometer of just how powerful what we're doing can be. You know, I'm waking up every morning and I'm just going to work. I'm doing the same thing every day and I love what I do. But the work that I end up doing, the work that all of us ends up doing, ends up affecting a lot of people in a really positive way. And I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, it's life-changing.
Yeah, you've all sort of been tapped to do something very special for communities, which is great. And Lilan, I wanted to ask you also to talk a little bit or speak to the diversity that is celebrated in the series, from we're coming up on Women's History Month, and there being 3 generations of women celebrated in the show, to all different types of storylines that are discussed. And maybe you can talk a little bit about how that is addressed in the show and why it's so important.
Yeah, it's so exciting to be a part of a show that has 3 Asian American female leads. And that's not something that I've had a lot in my experience of being an actor in Hollywood. I feel like I've gone out a lot for the best friend, to a white lead. Or I'm harder to cast a family around because I'm biracial. But here I can be exactly myself with Andi Mack. I have, in real life, I have a Taiwanese mom and a white dad. And in the show, I have an Asian mom and a white dad. And it's cool to have my own family be represented and not have to be more one thing or another. And outside of that, we get a lot of different characters. We've got a child whose father is unemployed. We've got a child whose mother is in the military, and we've got a character who is gay. And so all these different types of representation, I think, are so important. Not because it creates for a very interesting show and a well-rounded show, but people can see themselves reflected in our show, and I think that provides comfort for a lot of people.
So for all of you, I'll sort of open it up to all of you, how your lives have changed since the show has started. Oh, Joshua, you're like...
Dude, like in every way.
Right?
It's weird. I've done some voiceover work in the past, and in that realm, you can totally go out on the street incognito. And now, I'd say, I probably for all of us, I think nary a day goes past when we're not outside and we don't get recognized.
Yeah.
So
But
it's crazy.
I would say our personalities and who we are as people hasn't changed.
Yeah.
We're still the same people that we were before we booked the job that changed our life. Definitely when we go outside, especially together, people are like, oh, that's Andi. Oh, that's Buffy. Oh, that's Cyrus. And it's just everybody. But I think just as people, we are the same, just normal teenagers and adults as we once were.
Sophia, I want to talk to you also because you mentioned your hair at the beginning of the interview, and it is gorgeous, absolutely
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I just even the way you put it's gorgeous. I saw on Instagram because I am the stalker that I am.
Oh, yes.
That you had said that at once that might have been an insecurity for you.
Yes.
Has being on this show, so we talk about what you've all done for other people, but has being on the show and learning some of the lessons affected you in a positive way as well?
Oh, yes. Just as our characters are learning and growing, I feel as though I'm learning and growing as well as a human being because all these amazing messages that the writers are creating is not just affecting other people's lives, but they're affecting mine as well. And I'm so lucky that I get to have a character that's such a great role model for so many young girls and boys and adults out there, especially girls who look like me, because I feel as though being represented is a very, very big thing, as Lilan said. And I didn't have a lot of representation when I was growing up, but one of the biggest role models was Zendaya for me because she looked like me and I instantly connected, and they all know this because I talk about her constantly. But I'm so lucky that I get to be that for other girls and show them that their curly hair or their skin or whatever they look like, it makes them beautiful, and they don't have to change because they're the lesser majority.
There's a very special episode coming up on Friday that I mentioned at the beginning. Tell me what you can about what you're excited for fans to see for this 1 hour episode.
So much.
Gosh, there's
Like the
so
whole
much.
thing.
I think you learn so much about every single one of the characters, and that's something that's really unique is most of the episodes focus on one person or one story, but this episode really has something for everybody, and it has something for everybody to connect with. And I mean, it's beautifully shot. The writing is incredible. When it all came together, it was so seamless, and there are so many incredible scenes in it. You see some of our talents, aside from acting.
Ooh!
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Some of
girl.
our talents. I'm just doing my own thing.
Like now, I'm just sitting on the side.
Yeah, seriously. It's great.
but it's just this incredible episode that answers so many questions, but also brings up new questions.
So many new questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what will you all be doing when it's airing?
I'll be watching.
I'll be crying. I'll be laughing. I'll be dancing. We'll all be doing some dancing in the show, as you can see in the promos. And I know that if we watch it together, we're all going to be dancing the routine together.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's
I'll be
such
sitting
a
on the sides.
fun episode.
Elon will not be dancing.
And loving it.
Disclaimer. Let's also, congratulations are in order, season 3. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's like, so you can tell how much this means to all of you by the smiles on your faces. It's really special. Tell me what you all, like, if you had your Disney magic wand and you could wave your wand, where you would want to see your characters go, or some exciting things that you would hope that they would explore in the next season.
Realistically,
Sure.
Has to be realistic.
Realistically, with a magic wand. So take that without what you
Not
will.
realistic.
Right. So
Okay.
in your imagination, just if you could do anything you want with your character, it doesn't have to be long, just, maybe something that you hope to get to do.
Peyton and I both already gave a lot of our ideas to Terry Minsky 2 nights ago at dinner. And that was... Well, not all my ideas were good. Most of them were bad. My ideas were terrible.
Who says?
But I don't know if I could say exactly what I want to see happen, just because I've already told her, and hopefully it'll come out in the show. The Bar Mitzvah episode, which is coming out on Friday, was my idea and the result of a season and a half of nagging Terry and begging her to get a Bar Mitzvah episode. I think the first thing that I said to Terry when I booked the part was,
when Cyrus's Bar Mitzvah.
That's
that.
so cute. Well, because it's
That.
13-year-olds, it makes sense that it would be right around that time. Yeah. So you do have then some creative input in where this goes in a way.
Kinda.
Yeah, Terry
Kinda.
has always been really open to what we want to see in our characters. And I think she acknowledges that we know our characters because we've been living as them for so long now. And it's just really exciting. I think overall, we're just really excited to see where the characters are going to go and where life is going to take them. And from season 1 to season 2, you see this beautiful progression of their personalities molding into the people that they were always meant to be. And I'm just excited to see what happens next into our
Season
third
3.
season.
Well, so are we. And we're excited to see how you all fare with the 10 for 10 challenge here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we
I
go.
love challenges. I get a little Buffy-ish
Do
when
you?
it comes to challenges.
Okay.
And then I'm like, no, Sophia, you gotta be good.
It's starting to mesh together.
You gotta be a little bit more Cyrus,
I'm like,
Sophia.
yes.
So are we each answering the questions?
So I will give you the rules. It's 10 questions, 10 seconds for each. And the first 4 are most likely questions. So we'll give them to all of you. And then the rest will be directed to each one. So you'll know exactly what's happening. Okay. And for the first 4, what I'm going to ask is that you all say the answer at the same time. So just say it.
no.
And we'll see how many of them come out to be the same. Okay. So this is going to be amongst the 4 of you. Okay? Who is most likely to make you laugh during a scene?
Josh.
Josh.
Josh. Okay, that's what it came out to.
Yeah.
He wasn't me.
Makes himself
Josh?
laugh all the time.
Yeah, Josh makes
silly.
the funniest faces, and he's such
You
a
make
goofball.
faces at them during the scene?
When he's off camera, he'll be like, "Yes, Andy, I really want."
I do that sometimes.
Like, hey,
Not
hey,
all
guys.
the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, definitely not all
What are
the
you
time.
talking
but-
about? I'm a true professional.
Okay.
All the time.
Well, if you make faces at me, I'm gonna know. There we go. The camera will know. The camera will know. There's one right here for you. All right. Most likely to bring dessert to set.
Sophia. But Sophia's allergic to sugar.
not dessert.
Sophia can barely eat.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I have so many food allergies.
Well, maybe
that
Josh.
I would bring fruit.
I don't
maybe.
know.
Fruit to set. Fruit could
Yeah.
be dessert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asher's not here. We're
would-
not
but
allowed to
he
pick
wouldn't.
Asher.
But I feel like you are the one who goes to Crafty to get snacks.
That's a fair point.
Okay.
So we'll
Probably
go
eat
with
more
So
than
Josh.
everyone
Josh,
else
is
on
there
the
a
set.
theme happening here? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 2 for 2.
Likely to everything.
To everything. Who is most likely to get starstruck, and then by who?
Me.
I think Sophia.
Oh, Sophia.
We went to
Okay.
the set of Casey Undercover, and we met Zendaya, Sophia and I. And
I could
she
not.
she couldn't
fangirled.
speak.
I was like, okay, I got this question for her, and I knew exactly what I was going to say, and I was like,
And I was like,
I
was like, Sophia, come on, you got this.
Because I've loved her my whole life, and I've grown up watching her on Shake It Up and into Casey Undercover, so you can imagine my face when I actually saw her in person. I was like, is this real life? And I was pinching myself. I thought I was going to pass out. Like, I was full-blown fangirl.
And I
was like,
And not only
you got this, Sophia!
next one for you guys, most likely to blow up your phone with texts.
Me.
Josh.
Gosh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So true.
This ain't hard.
What's your favorite moment on set?
Oh gosh, this
Remember,
is so
10
difficult.
seconds.
I know. Oh gosh. Okay. Favorite moment on set. Probably when we shot a dance.
Yep.
With Lilan and with Cece.
Yes, Lauren Tom.
Yeah, and we had so much fun. We were all super tired, but it was just this amazing experience learning the dance together. And Lauren is incredible, just to put that
Lauren
out there.
is so good at dancing, and so is Peyton. And I was like, I gotta keep up here.
Sitting on the sideline.
yeah, but
my deal is sitting on the sidelines, and now I'm like, oh no, it's me that is dancing.
but anyways, we had so much fun, and we
I
were
think I
so
pulled it off.
tired the next day, but
Totally.
we had a ton of fun.
Lilan, for you, an emoji that best describes your character.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. The crocodile that's got the tail all the way around because Bex is feisty.
Good, I like that.
So specific.
That was good.
That's really good.
You're getting good. Sophia, you're a dancer.
Mhm.
What is your favorite song to dance to?
Oh, I would say Wait by, I think it's Erin Martin. She's such an amazing singer, and her songs are awesome. The beat is amazing, and I listen to her songs all the time.
Perfect. Josh, if you have... Joshua, I should say.
You could
Are we
say
there
whichever.
yet?
It
Are we
really.
there
It
yet?
doesn't make
Josh?
any
Okay.
difference at all to me. You can call me like kid in the jacket.
Josh.
Okay.
If you had your own Andi shack, what was one thing you would definitely want to have in the shack?
This is an easy question because I've thought about it a lot. It would be very, very decked out in technology. I'd bring in AC. I think that's a really important thing to mention because the real Andi shack does not have that. I'd bring in AC, power strips for everyone, computers, big monitors,
Power strips for everyone.
Power strips for everyone.
and a huge coffee maker because
What's
I
the
drink
budget
a lot
on
of
this
coffee.
Andi shack?
Probably way too
Yeah,
much.
right.
Unlimited.
Okay, Peyton, your favorite Disney show growing up?
Definitely Wizards of Waverly
We all
Place.
know this.
That's
Yeah,
great.
She loves it.
Leilani, a lesson or a message you hope people take away from watching the show?
Being what you are is the best. You know that's weirdly phrased, but yeah,
I love that. What you
you
are is
naturally
the best.
are is the best. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to be something else, and you don't have people love you for who you are if you let them.
Well, everybody is loving you and loving Andi Mack, and I want to thank you all for spending time with us today. And we will
Thank you.
remind everyone, as if you weren't excited enough already, that there is a 1-hour special episode of Andi Mack Friday, Disney Channel at 8 p.m. Check them all out there, and thank you all for spending time with us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Having us.